Let us go. It is good that we are here, my sweet and precious Gemini, for the July 2022 year. Woo! Well, my precious Geminarians, before I started this sacred ceremony where we dive into your most beautiful sun. You could also read this as your ascendant if you know it. Then it will be a little bit more particular into what area. Your sun, I find that is more of a spiritual, higher self type mapping. You could go by your moon. That'll be more of an emotional map. Even to your Mercury, your mind, Venus, your love, Mars, your passion, desire. Venus is a lot more than just love, but what you appreciate, what you value, how you relate. Venus is held in high regard. You wouldn't. The more I study ancient texts. But before I started this, I made sure, because I was feeling very frantic, channeling that Geminarian energy, and I took the time, first of all, just doing this. That Geminarian energy is so great, but it can be a little bit frantic. So we're being called to focus, to fix, because the sun is now in your second house, being that we just had your birthday. Happy late birthday, Geminarians. That is when that sun goes from the 12th house, which is our blind spot behind the scenes in our sub-unconscious, and then bam, your sun comes around and hits you, and it puts a light on you. And that could be reinvigorating, revitalizing, or sometimes it could show a light on things that we don't like about our life. Oftentimes, being alone on our birthday is a light gets shown on our loneliness and all the things in our life that aren't how we want them to be. And how do we want them to be? With Venus and Mercury in your sign, this is really bringing love, self-love, to how you think about yourself. And know that you're worthy. Sun in your second house, valuing yourself. I'm looking at the chart over here. I don't look at the camera that much. I know people tell me to, but so we have the sun shining into your second house of manifestation in Cancer, how we feel in a fixed sign. So we want to fix our feelings into your vision of what you would like to experience here, physically, relationally, emotionally. So let us use our imagination, our magic. You are the magician, Gemini, Mercury ruled. Let us use our imagination to imagine a magical experience and how that would make us feel. Now focus, fix that feeling. Thinking about that future thing into the now, because all we have is the now. And then plant it, love it, let it go, release. Don't be attached to the outcome and how it comes across. You put your intention in, and go back to that and reflect on that feeling, and try to stay in that feeling for as long as you can. But the actual attachment to the outcome, it could be, and oftentimes will be, even greater than you even imagined. The power of our manifestation is where the sun is highlighting you in your life right now. It could be a focus on your finances, how you feel about your finances. Could we be too emotionally attached to that? Okay, we don't have enough money in our bank, whenever is enough, really. Is that keeping us from being emotionally safe? If there is emotional uncomfortability with our relation to our finances, okay, let us put the work in that area, but let us not let it emotionally upset us so much that could be an unhealthy attachment to such material things. This is coming to me, and it's come to me in other readings, is looking at our resources and what we have to do our higher calling. And it might be weird, but Geminis, you're not afraid to express, and you do it so well. That's a great gift, is that ability to communicate, to connect things, to bring in a bunch of information, to get it out. The very messenger of the gods art thou. But how can the message be more meaningful? Oftentimes by how people feel about it, our emotions. With the sun and then soon Mercury going into your second house, it's going to bring about the world of emotions, water, new waters, and the realm of physical comfort. So we have the emotional comfort and physical comfort. For this next month, I just recommend really tapping into that Venus goddess energy of Taurus. Fix yourself, don't get frazzled, and get ready to dazzle. As next month we go into Leo, which is going to make a beautiful sextile fruition to give birth to a creative project, even a child. Yeah, if you're a female, this is a fruit of time. Venus in your sign, the sun in your second house, and woo, you get news about being freaking pregnant. You know what this just brings to the forefront? As soon as the sun stepped into Cancer, the sign of the mother, what was the big thing in the news? What is a mother? What rights does a mother have? Being highlighted, the sun, the light high in the sky. Gosh, astrology is so crazy. Okay, so one more thing I want to do about the astrology before I go into the cards is to talk about the North Node and the South Node, which is our ecliptic line between where the sun and the moon in relationship to the earth come into exactitude on their longitude and latitude. And so it's a very mystical, karmic timing thing. And so when it was in your sign, the North Node in Gemini, it was there 4 months ago for the past year and 8 months. So just go back in time 3 months, 4 months. Now think about the last 2 years. That is karmic arrow energy pointed on your great I am. And now that has since retrograded, slipped backwards, because it's in a constant retrograde motion, is the eclipses, the nodes, as opposed to everything else that's going forward. And that's deep in itself. But what it is doing is now focusing on what is on the blind spot. That's tough. To go from like, yes, this is it. I know why I'm here. And then bam, like feeling like very much in the dark, alone, crazy. Even the 12th house is like mental psychosis, insane asylums. But There's also be a great surrender into the allness and the nothingness, the cosmic current. Get caught up in it and let it take you, and trust in your power of your will and your intentions, your vision, and your imagination, and your ability to be mutable and to be flexible and to ride that cosmic current faithfully, trustfully, consciously, unconscious. The 12th house is crazy now. Then that's going to be the focus for the next year and a half. Is going to be Taurus. Just not knowing how to feel about being unsure about financial stability. I want to say trust is saying, have a little faith, brother, sister. Okay, let's go into the cards. How can Gemini best navigate through the desert? But in the desert, you got Venus right on you right now. You very well having Venus cross your sun. Oh, that could be a hot girl coming into your life. If you're a girl, feeling more pretty, having more harmonious relationships with others and yourself. We are making this a sacred spiritual place. Oh, I'm tapping into my Gemini magicianness. Also, I'm a little bit more. I could be a little bit more chatty Cathy with y'all, which I have a Sagittarius moon, so I appreciate my opposite sign, Gemini. We could chat it up. The Peace Dealer is a Gemini. He's great on YouTube. He does ceremony. Yeah. So as above, so below. The cycles and the seasons, the cycle of a year, similar to the cycle of the day, similar to the cycle of our lives. The very laws that govern the space govern our bodies. Now, when we do things on a microcosmic level to us, we affect that change, knowing that as above, so below. Do you believe in magic? Well, I hope you do. This one song's been in my head a lot lately. It's the Reading Rainbow song. It's very Gemini. I would do anything. Let's take a look into this book we call the tarot. I feel like it's asking us to rest, to really sit with our inner body, to get in our body and out of our head so much. I know, Gemini. Yeah, and then here we have you stepping into your freaking emperorship. This is your empire. It's good to focus on what are you the emperor, or what are you the emperor of? Because we could say, I'm taking this from the Peace Dealer actually. We could say, oh, I am God. But it's good to say what aspect of it, so that we could affect that manifestation, focusing in on exactly what we want. As a Sagittarius moon going to a Gemini, sometimes it could be hard to focus. And right now we're really being asked to focus and to sit. Well, it's going to ask you to do that when Mercury steps into Cancer, which it's about to do. So you're going to have it'll be easier perhaps to really step into your nurturing, get yourself physically comfortable as much as you can, and so that you get emotionally comfortable. And then the more you're emotionally comfortable, hold that with you. Even when things are uncomfortable around you, you can still be solid, and you could start manifesting a better experience, exterior, surrounding. in this material realm as you're a magician through the emotional realm. Not by avoiding them, but by going in there and then getting more magic to work with. Whoa, I just went deep into the 12th house and was digging with the bucket, bringing up magical waters, having a beautiful freaking assembly line going on. Now let us go to the Starseed Oracle. Oracle. And let us orate. Let us reach out to the oracle using our magical imagination and tapping into the cosmic current. We go to the oracle, the priestess of the temple, the pythoness. Oh, we call upon the goddesses, especially those of beautiful magic, to help us enchant this world, make this experience beautiful for not only us, but for all those around us and who we come across. Grant us a card to speak to the most awesomest Geminis, these freaking messengers of divine freaking light. What shall we have for them as we go forward into this month of July? Summer in the northern hemisphere. Oh. Baby steps. Cancer, Taurus. That's baby stuff. Oh, you know how we talked about babies and having a baby? We're just being around a baby and being all right with being a baby, like letting yourself be nurtured and nurture others as we give, so we receive. But also don't be a baby. Stop being a baby. In some things, in some aspects of our life. Like, am I being a baby? Am I avoiding responsibility? I could just be talking to myself right there. There's something called a creative responsibility that when you've been gifted with this imagination, you great magician. I just channeled that. Geminis are, whenever I meet a channeler, I'm like, oh, you're probably a Gemini. And most of the time I'm right. Baby steps. I want my baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Action. Action. No. Action. Follow your intuition. Cancer season. Yeah, that's going into it. Lots of these messages lately have been about intuition. You know what that often takes? Calming. We're all in our active doing something mind. It's harder to really hear that sacred small voice. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. What? That's weird. It's like baby steps. But then action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. Well, you know what? That kind of goes. I was just like, well, you know what? You need to slow down. And slow down, take baby steps. Yeah. But still, is calling for action. Calling. I just had that message come to me to tell Gemini that the calling is getting turned up. Because there was a crow right next to my window crowing. And at first I'm like, well, that's going to mess up my recording. That's just the brain that's just thinking, what am I doing next? What's next? And then I'm like, well, what's the spiritual meaning of a crow? Maybe I should look it up on Google. But then I didn't. Because I kept on thinking. Or intuiting. Going deeper into it. I said, well, what does a crow mean? It's kind of annoying. But I know they're also like a messenger, kind of. And what was it doing? It was calling out to something. He's not just calling for his own fucking amusement, I'm sure. Or maybe he's singing to himself. But it wasn't a singing type of thing. It was a caw, caw, caw. Is there a higher calling that the more we ignore it, the more it freaking annoys? Annoys freaking constantly just back there calling you to a higher freaking road mission on this journey. And you are the magician, the freaking airbender, the freaking firebender, and now you're going to meet the elements of water and of earth to make this beautiful clay that might resemble that beautiful temple that is within you, that you have decorated with the finest ornaments and continue to thread it in silver and gold wire and adorn it with the most precious gems. Woo! Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I do private readings. And we go deep as shit. You go to thequarian.tv to book a natal chart reading. I am probably underselling myself by thousands of dollars. I need to be a better merchant, which is a mercurial thing. Commerce. You're the great commercial maker. Think about making a commercial for your life and why you would want others to join in it, or perhaps not. I don't know, to each his own, right? No, I think we're social beings. This isolation has taught us something, that I really enjoy my alone time. I hate work. No one wanted to go back to work after that. Oh, maybe that's a sign that they did appreciate being at home. Coming out, this whole COVID thing was a mass. Everybody in the whole world going through the same thing at the same time. That on an energetic level and on a traumatic psychological level, mass psychosis can do. And I'm sorry, some of the most susceptible to psychosis: Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. Sagittarius a little bit. Those are the four mutable signs. That's like, yeah, you're a magician, but you could also go crazy. Kind of like Aleister Crowley. Dude knew a lot of stuff. And he was not a model to follow. And he would say that, and he kind of would take on that, which, you know, we all have our own journey. Or perhaps that was his calling. The call of the wild to the beast. The beast within us, our willpower is being shown upon right now. As the sun was just there on your sign, and now we have, so there's the sun, a light on your will. How are you? How's your willpower? And then bam, Mercury is gonna, how you're thinking about what you just got that light shown upon. About to go forward into, that's gonna become concrete. But we have Venus, who's lagging behind Mercury, who's giving a beautiful rose and flower freaking bouquet petals like on the path. Cleaning up you could have some really some bad thoughts because you didn't like what you saw when you had to take a look at the expressions of your willpower and its effects from and causes, its manifestations from your actions and intentions and just mind, point of view, perception. So we're being challenged and gifted with a more loving voice in our heads, perception on life. There's a feeling of salvation. You have a saving experience, saved by love. Being able to look at our past, our present, and our future in a more loving, beautiful way. So may you be strengthened on that journey, Gemini, July 2022.